And the only reason why you got to pay for it, because you got caught up in this realm, that's all. And there was a guy that was making sure you got caught up. Remember the guy that eat dust? Remember I said earlier? That's the guy. He creates all that. Why? Because it makes him strong. And he's trying to prove a point. Go ahead. Hold your name right here. Soft spot. Yeah. It's soft because that's where your soul enters and leaves. Because remember I said that the original word for soul was not soul of the sun. It was given to the soul that's connected with the soul place. But when you go to what the soul really is, it's like a pushing of wind. That's why when the soul leaves the body can't move. The body's alive, but the body can't move. It's in a comatose state, they say in science or medicine. You call it down, which is that. When you can't get up and you be looking around, you're a little nervous. That's because your soul has been on, ain't no telling where. It doesn't have the same laws as your body does. Your body laws have the fact that you spinning around the sun on a planet marks a year, or spinning on an axis marks a day. Soul don't go by those laws, it's beyond that. So it can go past, present, and future. How does it come back? It comes back here, and it leaves through here. That's why a lot of times a pure soul like a child would venture out spontaneous. But in order to keep it down a little bit, that's why things like a man down on his head were placed on children as a protection. Because the protection was, once it leaves back, they didn't want nobody to come and rub their head to get a portion of their soul. And there's a character that always does that. Every time they see black children, they always want to rub his head because they want to feel part of their soul. The other part of how they feel the soul is that there's a nutritional part of all our mothers, wives, and sisters that connects the baby, and that's called the umbilical cord. The other side that connects the soul to the body is called the etheric cord. Both of them serve the same purpose as a nourishment and a guideline. Why? Because as the mother eats, all that food and blood goes through the umbilical cord and feeds the body, feeds the baby through the navel. And that's the connection with the mother. Once you have that etheric cord that has that spiritual energy that's feeding the soul, and at the same time acts like a guideline for the soul to get back to the body. Now when it takes that, if someone is touching their head, they'll touch part of that etheric cord and feel some of the soul of that child. The child will be a little confused as a baby. That's why the head is always covered. When it comes the other way, there are people in this world who don't have a soul, and that's the best way they can touch on it, by waiting outside a hospital. Mostly when black children are born, they're trying to get the placenta. And that placenta is the one that's connected through that's the cord. So they want to eat the placenta. A lot of times they present it as caviar to you, but that's a placenta. Because that's the pureness of the mother and the child. And in eating that, these people touch on the soul. Most of them belong to Scientology. And that's a true fact. That's why, if you look at true Muslims, not a lot of Muslims, a lot of Muslims are not taught. Jews are taught, but Orthodox Jews are taught. And the original Christians out of the Catholic Church are taught that once the baby is born, you must get that umbilical cord and bury it by the house. And make sure you bury it, because not only will the child stay close to the teachings of that house, but the child will not have its soul, messed up. Won't have people getting into the soul. And the two beings that can is the physical demons and the spiritual demons. And once you bury it, it protects the child from it. We've been doing that for billions of years. And we should keep on doing it. We let man's laws intercede, and they'll tell you if you don't know that, you don't even think about it. But if you have those sciences, then you're going to stand there with a black paper bag and say, do my thing, man. It's up to my religion. I want it now. You're like, I did. Give me one. And they say, you give that black man this thing, you get it. And I took my receptor, both of my babies, all 3 and 4 of them, and I buried them. You hear me? And that's what all you women supposed, it's not the women. The man is standing there initiative. I don't care if it's the uncle, father, grandfather, you're supposed to get that placenta. Am I right, Al?
That's right.
You're supposed to get that placenta, and you're supposed to take it home to America. Keep them moms from eating up their baby soul. That's right. Think about how important that placenta is to the child. And think about the other side of the soul for the child. Now, if you didn't know it, it's not your fault because it was supposed to be taught. And remember, we came into a society that sometimes they don't share everything with you. I'm telling you now, for the future, you have a baby, or you, I don't care, you make sure you get that placenta. You hear me? You get that placenta. That's the most important thing you can do in there, besides making a prayer over that mama and that baby. Get that placenta.
What I want to ask you,
You should be good.
I want to ask you, what we refer to as an out-of-body experience from the soul leaves the body.
Yeah.
Okay, when that soul is not bound by physical law, it travels anywhere it wants to go. When it comes back to that physical body, but that what we refer to like in like the four higher senses, we refer to what we call deja vu. You can go somewhere and you see something.
It ain't really got nothing to do with the higher senses. It has to do with that French word, deja vu.
Okay, but what
That your energy can get you there.
yeah. But what I'm saying was, like soul travel, they may go visit a place or something, they come back to their body to the slumber. When you pass that place again, you see it, you have what we refer to as
Deja vu. You say, I've been here, I've seen that person, I've done this before. Because one thing that the soul brings back to the body, and that's experience. And with the experience it brings back to the body is called a recollection. And the recollection is called deja vu. Because you may have seen this person 3 months ahead of time. When you get to that 3 months, you scare the heck out of them because you know about that person, and she or she'll tell you, I never saw you before. But it's your soul that met him.
So the soul isn't restricted by but the time, when the time they'll look up in time. They can go into next week and see something and then come back and bring that recollection to you.
And you know how next week will seem to you? Like about 3 seconds. To the body.
To the physical body.
The body can go, the soul can go 3 months ahead of time because the connection with it is the etheric cord. Come back to the body, but the body, to the body, it only took about 5 seconds, sometimes 5 minutes. That's why you only dream 5, 10, the most 15 minutes. And because of that, it doesn't take the soul is spinning real fast. So the body, it happens seconds. But while it's journeying to Earth's time, it would seem 3 months, but not to the body and the soul, because they're already connected. Meaning, because of the etheric cord, at that particular point, the body shares more to the soul than it does Earth. So it's on the soul's time. So the soul didn't take nothing but Earth. But if I came back in, and now that I'm on Earth, what the soul witness may take 2 weeks, 3 months, may take a year. But while you was in there and you was recollecting it, now the soul may see something. You swear it's a dream, but it may be the soul looking, and you're so strong connected with your soul, you'll see it too. And then you'll say, I dreamed about it. I had a dream about it. I touched on this before. I've been here before. I know this place. And can't nobody fool me. So what happens is, remember, we have laws as men, and then there's laws of the universe. And the laws of the universe are greater than the laws of man. Man will have you in that spookism crap. But the laws of the universe shares reality with you. And that's more consistent of facts than what man tells you. Man said that if you was left-handed, you was the devil. Man said if you could float on water, you was a witch or a devil. Man said that the black man was cursed. That's why he should be in servitude to us. You see that? Man said anybody that's thick and swole up is ugly to me. I want something skinny. And then you're going to tell that to a black man. Black man don't want nothing skinny.
Right.
I ain't gonna go that way, you catch my drift.
Right.
No black man wants something skinny. He wants something black. So what happens is man laws intercede with the laws of the universe. So we do have the ability to do that. Can you change destiny? Sure you can, because of who you and what you are. You do have the energies, you do have the vitality to do it. It's just that we put them in other places and take away our power and strength. But we will learn to do these things. So yes, the gas station is the best definition we have in this day and time. It's going to get better. Trust me. Yes.
So, what is the purpose of life?
Well, I like how the Holy Tablets explain it. Let's go to verse 10. Chapter 1, tablet 1, verse 10. And what does it say?
That it was so for once humans became rulers over the planet Earth,
Right.
you gradually forgot that your purpose in life was to gain your way back towards the sustainer.
What is your purpose in life? To gain your way back to the sustainer where you come from. But what happens? Let's see what happens.
Said which would be
Which would be the token home. But what happens?
But instead you became engrossed in your own desires.
Did not we become engrossed in our own desires?
Right.
I gotta have that chocolate cake. I gotta go to the club Friday and Saturday. You got engrossed in our own desires.
I got bills to pay.
I got bills to pay. Bill is a hell of a person too. Bill come when you don't want him. Come unexpectedly. You may compromise, but he gonna knock your credit down. But these are the things we can overcome, right? Keep reading. 4. Now, you up there in verse 11.
While in pursuit of physical gratification.
Instead of going to something good for you, our pursuit is what? Physical gratification. What happens?
They forgot the purity which they were for.
Remember I said as a baby, seeking all this nookie and these drugs and all this fake stuff, we forgot who and what we are as pure beings. And we replace it with physicality. Everything that I ain't saying ain't nothing wrong with having a new car. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a pretty woman, you better. Ain't nothing wrong with having the best food. But doggone, feed the other side of yourself at times. That's what I'm saying. Make it a balance, like the brother was saying. Put that tetrahedron so you can balance the spiritual and the physical. That's where we make our mistake. We're always physical, 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 and we don't feed the other side. And our purpose in life is for us to master that so we can get back home. You and me and everybody in here are not from earth. We came from somewhere else, and I'm not spacing it out. You came as a thought because you didn't grow up as an adult. You came and fit inside a sperm and then manifest as a fetus, then became a baby, adolescent, grown up, elder, and you went back to the ground as a physical body, and then the essence of yourself went on. That's how it goes. You hear me? You didn't come here as no grown person. You did not come here as no baby. You came here as a thought, and thoughts do manifest. We have them all the time. We even gather when we start doing this, let me get that thought, and you go get it. Because part of you is thought. And that's the pureness of it. So your purpose in life, and what this is all about, is to go back to where you came from. So you can go other dimensions. You can go through other planes.
So what we do here, does it affect what happens?
Yes, it does.
I mean, like, okay, sin, whatever they want to call sin. When you do bad things, then it's going to affect
Somebody
you.
made up sin.
Right, somebody made up sin.
You know, sin is a person.
I know.
We'll get into that one day. Go ahead.
But you do something bad, you do bad things, you live most of your life negative here.
Right.
It's going to affect you.
In the next plane, in so much that when you separate from this body and you try to make it to the plane of force, your desires will hold you back as an anchor like this. And you can't proceed until you correct those desires.
So what you say you're coming back?
You never leave. You get caught up in between this realm and the next.
But you're out the physical body.
And you're out the physical body.
So, but you're seeing everything that's going on around you.
And you can't talk to nobody, you can't touch nobody, that's why they call it hell.
Now, can people who have a higher sensitivity to like smaller or faster vibrations see these people like these people who say they see ghosts? Or they
There's only one person in this room, 2 people in this room that can do that, and they right there. Because they're pure. We got television, we got Matrix, we got Godzilla, we got Superman, and we replaced them with our spiritual counterparts, our spiritual connections. They became the power. See, today all these Batman and Superman, they became the gods. So we can't think past that, but they can.
Can I read 12 on? 12.
Yeah, he want to read 12 on. Go ahead.
12.
Yeah.
As a result, we have strayed from the original ways of the universe.
You see that?
The original ways.
The original ways of the universe.
Right.
And the spiritual path that led you to your true destiny.
Which is?
Universal knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right reason, called one reason.
That's right. So we've left the universe and everything is about Earth. Ain't nowhere in the world you can compare Earth to other planets. Because Earth is the size of a pea, and some planets as big as a basketball, including the beans. And then you got some that's big as a house compared to that basketball compared to you as a pea. Because we do the same thing. If I take my body and I go inside my body, is there not intelligent beings in my body? Yes, there is. Now, if I take those intelligent bodies called white corpuscles, red corpuscles, bacteria, and fungi, and I go inside of that, will I see intelligent beings? Yes, I will. How far do I go till I get to the end? Who knows? How far do I go this way until, because if I'm a real true study, a true knowledgement of the Quran, then I would get a clear view when it says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. What does that mean in English? Allah, Alhamdulillah. All praise is due to Allah, who is Rabbil Alameen, sustainer of what? Boundless universes. I can't measure boundaries. Here's what it means. You have our universe. There are 7 that surrounds this one. There are 19 around it. By the time I finish, in our sector, what we call universes, it goes up to 144,000. It's no such thing as the first and the last. It's something that we was taught. It's not what you know. It's a difference. So we can keep going as long as you can keep going, and you'll find other dimensions in life. And where does it start? It starts right here. How far do I go inside my cell so I don't see nothing else? Because what does a cell turn into once you get to that point? Turns into atoms. Atoms turn into, and they turn into, and they turn into, and the same way this way.
So there's macroorganisms just like there's microorganisms. And
beyond those points. That's right. It's something beyond the cosmos. And we have and your life is teaching you how to keep going through it. And the only reason why you got to pay for it, because you got caught up in this realm. That's all.